Have you ever grilled the best ribs in town, only to feel like your wallet got smoked right along with them? The drinks are cold, the playlist's perfect, but somehow, the vibe? A little too hot. Not party hot. More like, why are we fighting about bills again? Hot. I didn't used to think about it either. It's just BBQ, right? Grill goes in the backyard, throw on some burgers, we're good. Until one summer, my neighbor Kenny, 3 grill upgrades, 1 fire pit, and a smoker later, started noticing a weird pattern. Every time he hosted a cookout, something in the house would break. First, it was the AC, then the car. Then came a surprise bill from the HOA. And he kept saying the same thing. I swear we're doing everything right, but the money just keeps slipping out of nowhere. Turns out Feng Shui's got something to say about that. Where you place your grill, how the smoke moves, what's behind that fire, and where you let the heat rise? It's all energy, and some of it might be burning your abundance. So if summer's your favorite season, but you keep feeling like your fortune's getting grilled with the steaks, this video's for you. We're breaking down 5 common Feng Shui BBQ mistakes that most folks make without even knowing it, and how to fix them without giving up the fun. And hey, if this kind of quiet shift speaks to you, hit like, subscribe, or drop a comment below. It helps the algorithm know you're part of this energy reset. And we'd love to hear how your backyard's feeling these days. Let's get to it. Tom thought he nailed the perfect BBQ setup. Grill just outside the back door, easy access, no mess. Flip, step inside, grab a beer, done. It felt efficient. But after a few cookouts, something else started cooking. His wife said the house felt hotter than usual, like the heat was sneaking in. His daughter kept saying the air felt mad. And Tom? He noticed the weirdest thing. Every time he grilled, his phone would ping with a bill. Car repairs, insurance updates, random stuff that just showed up. Like money was walking out while burgers were coming in. In Feng Shui, fire placed directly near or facing the main energy mouth like your back door creates a reverse pull. Instead of warming and energizing your space, that fire draws qi out. Especially when the door is constantly opened during barbecues, it lets the heat and smoke rush inside. But what's worse? It also carries wealth energy out with it. You're basically inviting abundance in and then grilling it goodbye. Tom was the provider, the I got it guy. His BBQ nights weren't just burgers, they were his way of giving. Feeding the block, hosting the vibes. But when unexpected bills hit and tension started rising in the house, he felt helpless. Like, I'm doing everything I can. Why does it still feel like we're losing ground? It wasn't about the grill. It was about watching his efforts burn out. It's like placing a fan right by the window on a hot day, but it's blowing air out, not in. You think you're helping the room cool down? But really you're just pushing all the good stuff away. Same thing here. That BBQ fire, too close to the door, isn't just sending smoke out. It's pushing your wealth out with it. Tom's friend Mike, who worked in HVAC, told him this setup was actually messing with their home pressure too. Grill heat would raise the temperature near the back entry, making the AC system work overtime to balance airflow. Translation? More money on utility bills, less balance in how the house breathed. Tom moved the grill just 5 feet to the left away from the door. Now it sits under a partial shade with open air behind it. He added a small potted plant wall between the grill and the door, not just to redirect the heat, but to symbolically break the pull. The next time he grilled, no surprise bills, no heavy heat drifting in, and weirdly, his neighbor brought over homemade ice cream. "Just felt like a good day to share," she said. Tom joked. "Guess I was barracking my own bank account all along." Now, he still flips the ribs, still plays 80s rock too loud, but the grill's in the right spot. The meat's tender, and so is the energy. Tom had one favorite spot to grill. Nice breeze, shade from the tree, and the smoke always drifted to the left, right over the wooden fence. No big deal, he thought. Just air doing its thing. But then the neighbors started acting weird. The kids didn't come over to play anymore. The wife next door gave tight little waves, and Tom started to notice a weird pressure. Like the backyard had this silent edge. Barbecue nights didn't feel light anymore. They felt heavy, like he was grilling under some invisible weight. In Feng Shui, smoke isn't just smoke. It carries fire qi, which is strong, hot, and fast. If that fire energy consistently hits a boundary, like a fence, a wall, or a hedge, it doesn't dissolve. It bounces back. Tom's grill was sending a wave of heat and intensity straight into a dead-end zone. That's how you trap tension. And in return, the space starts rejecting connection. Even relationships begin to feel blocked because the energy between homes gets thick and sticky. Tom loved being the friendly neighbor. BBQ nights were his way of keeping the vibe alive. But lately, it felt like nobody wanted to join. And the worst part? He didn't know why. He started to feel isolated in his own yard, like he was putting out effort, but the joy was getting grilled out of it. Imagine trying to yell into a canyon, but instead of hearing your voice echo back, it smacks you in the face. That's what his smoke was doing, pushing out strong energy, hitting a wall, and bouncing it all back into his space. Warped and worn out. Tom's brother-in-law, who worked in landscape design, mentioned something interesting. Too much smoke hitting a fence too often can dry and warp the wood. It creates micro-tension in materials. Turns out that tightness people felt in the yard, the environment was physically reacting too. Heat, tension, isolation. All real, all silent. Tom rotated the grill 45 degrees. Now, the smoke flows diagonally out to open space. He even added a soft bamboo screen to break the smoke line, and invited his neighbors over with fresh ribs and peach cobbler. The energy lightened. The fence got restained together as a neighborly weekend project. The space remembered how to be friendly again. Now Tom laughs. Guess I was slow roasting my social life along with the brisket. His backyard's not just a grill zone anymore. It's a space where smoke knows where to go, and the people know they're welcome. If you're the kind of person who believes your home should feel like it's rooting for you, even when you're just flipping burgers, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, or leave a comment below. This community's for folks who feel the shift, even when it's just a puff of smoke that says, hey, something's not right. Tom thought his backyard setup looked sharp. Grill in front, solid brick wall behind. Looked clean, looked powerful. Felt like a man's zone. But every time he grilled, he started feeling drained. Not tired from cooking, but this weird, dull heaviness. Like something was pressing down on his shoulders. Even on chill weekends, his mood felt boxed in. Music didn't hit right. And halfway through grilling, he'd lose his appetite. In Feng Shui, fire energy needs room to move. It wants to expand, to flow, to dance. But when you put a strong fire source like a BBQ right in front of a wall, you trap that qi. The energy heats up, then bounces back, straight into your personal field. It creates a buildup, like grilling inside a pressure cooker. Instead of energizing the space, you're compressing it. And over time, that stuck fire qi turns into irritation, fatigue, and quiet stress. Tom wasn't just a grill guy. He was the reset guy. Grilling was his ritual, his way of shaking off the week, lighting something real, feeling free again. But lately, even with smoke in the air and music on full, he couldn't shake the tension. He felt like he was showing up to unwind and coming out more wired. It's like yelling into a pillow. The sound doesn't go anywhere. It just hits the fabric and comes back into your own ears. Same with the fire. It had nowhere to go. So it started pushing back. Not just against the space, but against him. Tom's cousin Amy, who studied holistic design, once mentioned that stone walls absorb and radiate heat back slowly. When paired with constant grilling, it can cause microenvironment stress, localized heat zones that mess with both comfort and mood. Not to mention trapped smoke between grill and wall can alter airflow, making the space feel thicker. That's real energy friction. And yeah, people feel it. Tom moved the grill just 5 feet forward, gave it space to breathe. Behind it, he placed a row of tall planter pots with soft-leafed herbs, basil, lavender, and mint. Now the fire qi flows through, gets buffered gently, and disperses into scent and motion. Tom said it changed everything. He felt lighter, less edgy, like the grill finally knew where to send its heat. And so did he. Tom jokes, "I didn't move the grill. I gave it freedom. Now the ribs taste better. The patio feels open. And the only thing bouncing back these days is laughter off the herb leaves." Tom had this old chair, beat up, sun-faded, leg a little crooked. He didn't even remember where it came from. It just lived there, right next to the grill, like a relic. Nobody sat on it, not even the dog. But every BBQ night, it was there. Quiet, crooked, just taking up space. And Tom started noticing something odd. Every time he glanced at it, his chest felt a bit tight. Like something small but heavy was watching him burn meat and pretend everything was fine. In Feng Shui, objects hold memory, especially furniture. A broken chair abandoned, unused represents stagnation. It holds dead qi. And when placed near an active fire element like a BBQ, that dead energy doesn't get cleared. It gets amplified. Instead of flow, you're creating conflict. Fire tries to energize. Dead qi resists. Result? A constant, low-key drain on your mood, your focus, your luck. Tom didn't want to admit it, but that chair felt like a version of himself. Tired, stuck, propped up in the same spot too long. Doing the same routine, weekend after weekend, hoping the smoke would clear something deeper. But all it cleared was sausages. The heaviness still sat there, crooked, quiet, and never invited. It's like leaving a broken clock in your kitchen. You know it doesn't work, but you walk past it every day, telling yourself you'll fix it someday, and that someday never comes. So the energy just sits, quietly telling you nothing's moving. Tom once heard on a podcast that clutter isn't always visual. Sometimes it's emotional clutter anchored in objects you ignore. The host said, "If something's around you but not serving you, it's draining you." That hit hard. He looked at that chair again, and for the first time, he didn't see furniture. He saw a decision he hadn't made yet. Tom took the chair out, not to fix it, not to store it. He let it go. In its place, he set up a light folding table with 2 clean chairs and a small bowl of lemons, symbol of fresh flow and lifted chi. That night, his wife joined him for grilled corn and sweet tea. She smiled and said, "Backyard feels good again." And it did. Not flashy, just clear. Tom chuckled. Didn't know a busted chair was out here blocking my peace. Now he sits where the old thing used to be. Same view, better air, and just enough room for one more plate of ribs and a lighter heart. It hit Tom one night around 11 p.m. He had grilled ribs at sunset, cleaned up, called it a night. But, lying in bed, ceiling fan spinning slow, he felt hot. Not temperature hot, restless hot. Like the walls were buzzing, like sleep had checked out. He sat up, glanced toward the sliding glass doors, and saw it. The grill, right outside the bedroom window, sitting there, closed, silent, but somehow still burning in the air. In Feng Shui, the bedroom is your place of restoration. It's where yin energy takes over. Stillness, recovery, peace. But when you place fire energy right outside the space meant to hold your deepest calm, you create energetic conflict. The fire might be off, but the chi it stirs lingers. You're basically grilling your nervous system. It keeps your body alert, your mind on edge, and your fortune half asleep. Tom wasn't just tired. He was worn. He didn't say it out loud, but the tension had built up. Little fights, random bills, the weight of doing fine when everything felt slightly off. And that grill? It was like a symbol of doing too much, too close to where he actually needed rest. Like he'd set the fire too close to the place that needed cooling. It's like parking a motorcycle right outside your window and revving it every night at 6 p.m., then wondering why your dreams feel loud and weird. Tom had brought heat too close to stillness, motion too close to sleep, and his house was whispering, "Back off the flame." He read an article that night about how outdoor appliances and strong elements placed near sleeping quarters can disrupt melatonin levels, impact blood pressure, and trigger low-level anxiety. The article ended with one line: "Energy doesn't need sound to stay loud." That hit home. Tom moved the grill again, farther from the house, closer to the open end of the yard. He lined the area outside his bedroom with small stones and potted lavender, a buffer zone of soft chi, and added a wind chime, just one. Light, subtle, calming. That night, he fell asleep fast. No buzz, no weight, no grill in his peripheral vision. just quiet. And in the morning, he woke up hungry. The good kind. Tom laughs now. I didn't know I was slow roasting my own dreams. These days, the fire stays where it belongs. Away from the bed. Centered on joy. And the only thing cooking after dark is maybe one late-night thought about peach cobbler. If this episode made you pause, maybe just for a second, to look at your backyard differently, to rethink where your joy and heat are mixing, then thank you for being here. There's something powerful about realizing that even a barbecue can hold the story of how we treat our energy, what we protect, what we ignore, what we keep too close to the flame. And if your home is slowly learning how to breathe again, you're not alone. Feel free to like, subscribe, or drop a story below. We read them. We feel them. And sometimes your share is exactly what someone else needed to hear. Your space speaks. Wisdom listens.